Is Sabrina Walker Hernandez, and I am the CEO and president of Supporting World Hope. And Supporting World Hope is a nonprofit consulting company that I started after 25 years of being in the nonprofit industry. My claim to fame, as I like to say, is that I took my annual operating budget from $750,000 to $2.5 million in the third poorest county in the United States and completed a $12 million capital campaign. So with that, every week I put out a blog, and that blog really is designed to help you, the nonprofit professional, board member, and or volunteer. And so I do this because I know that you are busy, often overwhelmed and underpaid. There's a lot to be said for that. But I know you don't have time necessarily to read a blog. You're in the trenches. And so I like to encourage you to create a mobile university. And that mobile university allows you to listen to lives and podcasts and things that are going to help you as you're driving in your car from point A to point B, or as you're in the restroom relaxing. I do that. That is my safe space, or wherever you can insert it. It is not about you trying to create more time to listen. It's about you utilizing the time that you have wisely. And so with that, this week's blog summary was 3 ways to get your nonprofit board to fundraise in 90 days or less. So the question I hear repeatedly is, how do I get my board members engaged in fundraising? You know, normally that question is followed by a frustrated sigh from the CEO or the ED, and sometimes even the board chair. There are 3 keys that you can use to help your board members better understand your nonprofit's fundraising challenges and opportunities. And that's education, that's mindset, and that's engagement. So in the area of education, you know, a nonprofit board is only as strong as the education and direction that they receive. Working with input from the board, the CEO or the ED should determine the board's education gap and build a consensus around what training is needed. You know, once that training is agreed upon, 15 to 20 minutes should be designated on each board meeting's agenda for training and education. This is an opportunity to do some skill building with board members on such topics as fundraising, roles and responsibility, telling your nonprofit story, and other various topics. So CEOs and EDs, stop assuming your board members understand fundraising or how to talk about your organization. Board education will ensure they have a solid understanding of the underlying philosophy of fundraising, which is building relationships with donors who will stick with you and stick with your organization over the long haul. Board members need and deserve first-rate support from staff. The next thing is mindset. Board members must make a shift in their mindset, and they have to embrace the culture of philanthropy. The word philanthropy translates from the Greek to mean love of humankind. They must think philanthropy, not fundraising. Philanthropy focuses on building relationships with donors as opposed to a one-time transaction. Also, board members must shift their mindset when it comes to board recruitment strategies. When recruiting for or changing the board, they can't have a scarcity mindset. How many times have you heard this? I know I remember this being said repeatedly. How will we replace them? We don't have a prospect in the pipeline. So I want you to remember this, that serving on a board is a privilege and should be treated as such. There are those who will willingly serve on a board and not just sit on a board. Your nonprofit must go out there and find them. Engagement. When board members are truly engaged, they will become your nonprofit's best ambassadors, best advocates, best strategists, and best supporters. And so you have to engage your board members. An engaged board is forward thinking. They strive to have a collaborative partnership with the CEO or the ED. They will partner in fundraising and policy making. An engaged board works between board meetings and attend meetings well prepared. It is the role of the CEO and the ED to find what their board members are good at and keep them involved with these areas of interest. Find the right committee for them. Let them share their professional expertise with the nonprofit if they desire to do so. Or if they want to do something completely different as a volunteer from what they do in their everyday job, honor that. Board engagement is a direct result of the kinds of experiences board members have working together. When they are working together on a mission that is both challenging and stimulating, high engagement will follow. And so that is what my blog summary is about. And if you want to read it, I encourage you to. There are links back to how do you develop consensus around training. You'll also find other links back to different blogs that tells you where to find those board members. And also, if you need any sample documents around resource development or board development or marketing, you can subscribe to my blog and sign up for my VIP resource library. There's even a sample board education plan in that library. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I am here to service you and to reduce some of that overwhelm for you. This live will be shared on many platforms. It is going to be shared on its original home, which is Facebook, but it also is going to be shared on YouTube. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube, I encourage you to do so. And it also will be posted on LinkedIn. And so I am hitting all of those areas to ensure that this message gets out there to as many professionals as possible. So if you know someone that's in that nonprofit world and they're struggling, share this with them. I encourage you to do that. I encourage you to support your fellow nonprofit brother and sister, because we're all in this together. We all feel that overwhelm. We all deserve to have our mission fully funded. And with that, the last thing that I will ask, if you are not a member of my community, I encourage you to join. and it is the Nonprofit Professionals Exchange Facebook group. And in there, every Thursday, I go live answering questions that has been posed by group members. I share a free resource every day at 2 o'clock, whether that's around training, whether that's around a fundraising platform, whether that is around a best practice, just a number of different tools, and usually they're technology tools that you can use to actively and passively grow your revenue as a nonprofit. So again, I always am appreciative of the time that you allow me to present to you. And don't forget to create your mobile university. Use this when it is best for you. And lastly, because it starts next week, I am going to talk about my Build a Summit, Build a Thriving Nonprofit Summit. It is not too late to register, and you can register on my Facebook page. You can register actually on my website, and at the same time sign up for the library and join the Facebook group. So it's really one call to action. Go on to www.supportingworldhope and sign up for this free summit. And if you have the opportunity, look at the backstage VIP pass, because in there, if you choose to join that backstage pass, you get great benefits, values up to $3,000 in different trainings and opportunities, and consultations, ebooks, and grant ready checklist, and social media training. It's just that VIP Backstage Pass is just full of great content, and it's going to allow you to go backstage and be able to ask the 13 experts that will be presenting and hosting this summit direct questions, so you can get your specific needs met. And with that, again, I thank you so much for your time. And again, your mission deserves to be fully funded. So find me at www.supportingworldhope.com. Thank you.